Hello guys, Logan here, and today I'm still on a journey of reviewing as many films as I possibly can at the start of the year 2019. You know, films that came out in theaters either a few weeks ago or a month ago or a month and a half ago. And so I'm still on that journey of reviewing films. And after reviewing 2019 films such as The Prodigy, Alita Battle Angel, and How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, today I'm going to be reviewing Captain Marvel, the latest MCU film that actually came out a few weeks ago, if not less than a month ago. So Brie Larson plays Carol Danvers, who becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between two alien races, the Kree and the Skrulls. If you have watched any of my videos, particularly one of them being my Sunday Thoughts video on Brie Larson playing Captain Marvel in the Captain Marvel movie, you would know that Brie Larson playing the character of Captain Marvel, or Carol Danvers, gives me cause to pause based on the roles that she took in some of the films, such as Kong Skull Island, which I said in that video that I wasn't really impressed by Brie Larson. I thought she was not good in that film at all. So Brie Larson was the only concern I had going into this film. But other than that, I was really excited to see this film. And after walking out of theater to see Captain Marvel, I will say that this film has been filled with this controversy, that has been surrounding Brie Larson and what she has said, about this movie being a feminist movie or an SJW or any other political stuff that she says involving her movie. And I gotta say, this movie wasn't as bad or political as the whole controversy surrounding Brie Larson made it out to be. I mean, there were certain parts where it was like, yeah, female empowerment, girls rock, and whereas men suck, and SJWs and feminists rule, yeah, females all day, every day, or something like that. I mean, there were moments like that, but they weren't used to shove it down your throat. They weren't put in your face the whole time in the movie. So what are my thoughts on Brie Larson? Well, let's put it this way. Looking at her performance, she pleasantly surprised me. Her performance was very good. I didn't expect Brie Larson to actually make a good performance because I said in my Sunday Thoughts video on her playing Captain Marvel that I doubt she would pull off a good performance in this film. I have doubts about her doing that, and she proved me wrong, just performance-wise. But from the character she plays, I mean, her character wasn't really that impressive, and in fact wasn't even very likable and charismatic. And that could be the writing being at fault here, or the writers behind this film making her character turn out the way she turned out to be in this film. You will understand how she's like if you watch the trailers and then you see this film and how she is what she is. The chemistry / back and forth banter between her and Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, was very good. It was actually some of the best parts I've seen in this movie by far, period. I mean, just the comedic banter, just the back and forth that both of them shared in select scenes, yeah, that's right, were actually pretty interesting and very funny as well. So, and by the way, let me say this. The de-aging CGI on not just Nick Fury, but also on Agent Phil Coulson was wow. I mean, I was really impressed by the de-aging CGI on Nick Fury and Agent Phil Coulson. They were really good. They were so spot on. There's not even a single detail on two of these characters where you're like, man, the CGI on them doesn't look good. They still look like they're in their old age. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. You can clearly see, even though they're CGI, they look very realistic, particularly at the way they look so young. Talos, the main villain, played by Ben Mendelsohn, who, by the way, did a very good job as the main villain, Talos. He plays that character very interestingly, and makes him more than just a conventional type of generic villain. I mean. And those are, as far as I will go, in terms of positives. I have negatives with this movie. Yes, this movie, to me, it wasn't as bad as many people made it out to be, as well as the controversy surrounding this film, and on Brie Larson. But I would also say that it's not as good. One of my issues with this film is that it felt very standard. The standards that were put in this movie, it honestly felt like a Phase 1 MCU film that we have seen, such as the first Iron Man film, the Thor film, the first Captain America film. I mean, the standards that were put in this film were just as same as some of the standards in those, Phase 1 films. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just how this film puts together some puzzle pieces and try to get the story on. They felt so much like some of the Phase 1 MCU films that we have seen. It's an origin story, yes, but it really felt, excuse me, it felt like an origin story film, particularly a superhero origin story film that we have seen multiple times already. Another one of my biggest issues with this movie is the tone. I didn't like the way that it turned out to be and how it went down, particularly in the second act, as well as the second act, as well as the third act of the movie. It did not go the way that I was sort of expecting it to be, or was kind of thinking, okay, this is kind of interesting. I wonder how interesting it will be within the second and third acts. But no, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I also didn't like the direction that they were going with the Skrulls. The Skrulls in this film were shown in the trailers and as well as in the marketing as the main antagonists of this film. And the way that this film were going for, turning them from being bad guys to being good guys, particularly in the second and third acts of the movie, mainly the third act, I would say, was not very impressive. It felt really underwhelming to me. Oh, and I forgot the CGI in this film. Not just the de-aging CGI. The de-aging CGI on Nick Fury and Agent Phil Coulson, really good. But the special effects in this movie could have been done better. When you watch this movie, you can't really help but notice that the CGI in this film and just how noticeable it is really alarming to me. How that you can tell that the special effects weren't done enough to the point where you're like, okay, those are really cool special effects. Well, this film has really cool special effects. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So yeah, guys, this film, as a Marvel fan and a movie fan, this film, Captain Marvel, led me down from the standpoint that I had hold this movie to a high standard, because I had it as one of my most anticipated films of the year, probably top 5 of the year. And it was only because I was very looking forward to everything else, in spite of Brie Larson, thinking that it was going to be a pretty good film, much better than people made it out to be. But no, it didn't turn out the way that I was anticipating it to be. So it was really disappointing for me. Now, this is one of the weakest films I have seen in the MCU. I'm going to give Captain Marvel a silver Medal of Honor. So anyway guys, that is my review for Captain Marvel. If you guys enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and if you have already seen this movie, comment below to let me know what you think of it. If you enjoy what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.